Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Jeremy Sutton, owner of Servant PT. Today, I want to talk to y'all about something. It's funny how God knows what you need when you need it. Drove my son to school this morning, took off from work. He's got a Christmas play, so just took off, spend the day with him, go back in tomorrow, see patients tomorrow, Friday, be off next week for Christmas, and then finish up the following week. But anyway, listening to Tony Evans on the radio this morning. If you don't know who Tony Evans is, he's a pastor in Dallas, Texas, runs urban ministries, just a phenomenal guy. I love to listen to him. Haven't listened to him in a long time, probably 6, 7, 8 months. It's been a while. In my wife's car, nothing on the radio, so I'm like searching radio stations. I never do that. I'm usually listening to podcasts. Tony Evans pops up. He's talking about thorn in your side. And I don't know about you, but I've had some thorns in my side, and currently dealing with one. And so he talks about 3 is the number of fullness in the Bible. 7 is the number of completeness, but 3 is the number of fullness. And what he says was, sometimes we get a second win when we're dealing with something. And so with 3 being the number of fullness, we have a beginning to something, a middle of something, and an ending to something. Fullness. And so your beginning has already started. My beginning and some issues that I have or whatever have started. Right now I'm in the middle. Right now you're in the middle. You're in the middle of something. It may not be good. It may be great. But whatever it is, you are in the middle of that. You're in number 2. You can decide where number 3 is. By the way you act. Get your coffee ready. By the way you act. By the way you respond, by the way you treat others, and by how you move forward. You get to decide where number 3 is, where the fullness is. Now, if I'm speaking to some Christians like myself, we know that God's in control. We know we make plans, but God decides where we go and what we do. That's the way I feel. But number 3, where's your fullness? You know, are you at number 2 right now? You're in the middle and you're like, man, I can't get through this stuff today. This is not worth it. I know this is what I've been put here on this earth to do. I know I'm supposed to do this, but I don't want to do it anymore. It's getting hard. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable, but I know this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm just going to quit. I don't care anymore. I'm tired. I've been there. I've been there last week. It doesn't matter about your tiredness. Get your butt up and keep moving. And that's what I'm talking to myself. That's why I'm a little bit excited this morning, because I feel like I got something from God today that he said, Jeremy, get up and stop being ridiculous. He said, get up and stop crying about stuff. Get up and stop worrying about what other people think, and get up and do what you're supposed to do today. That's what I heard on the radio this morning. And so I'm not angry. I'm excited. I'm animated. I feel like I know where my fullness is. I know where number 3 is, and I know how to get there. He talked about being a runner, how you can't run anymore, and you get your second win. And I feel like I got a second win yesterday. I hadn't been feeling good. I didn't want to fool with anybody. I didn't want to do anything. It wasn't because I was angry, just because I was tired. But then I feel like God gave me a second win yesterday, and it was like, okay, let's get up, let's walk, let's do a little bit more. Always talking about keep moving forward, but sometimes I need to tell myself to keep moving forward. But we got that number 3 of completeness, of fullness that God talks about. He talks about in Isaiah, if you wait upon the Lord, He'll renew your strength. You'll run and not be weary. You'll walk and not faint. We got to wait, though. We can't be pushing ahead on our own and trying to knock walls down. You know, don't be knocking walls down with a chisel when God's got a sledgehammer. He'll move your stuff out of the way when He's ready to move it out of the way. But you got to stop trying to push Him out of the way. You got to stop trying to do stuff with your little chisel. God's got a hammer. He'll get rid of it for you. That number, that fullness, that number 3. Where's your number 3 going to be? Are you going to let the world beat you down? Are you going to let people make you crumble? Are you going to let other people get you off your game and get you saying stuff you know you're not supposed to say, doing things you're not supposed to do just because they push you a certain way or they talk to you a certain way. We can't be doing that. It don't matter if you're a Christian or not. You got to act right. You got to do what's right. This world needs people to love other folks. This world needs people to get up every day and go to work and make a difference. We don't need people feeling sorry for themselves like I do sometimes. You know, we don't need people moping around. Let me tell you what. I was sitting on a lady's couch doing home health about 2 years ago. I was drinking a cup of coffee that she made for me. Sweet, sweet lady. And she was telling me this lady was a widow. She was crying and she was upset about some stuff that had happened to her. I'll tell you what it was. It was she paid somebody to come take her trash. And they came and they didn't take her trash and they made her pay extra. And she knew it was wrong, but she didn't have a choice. Like, she was by herself. Her kids weren't there. Nobody was there. Nobody cared. She was telling me all this stuff. She was falling apart, this 80-year-old woman. And I was in a bad mood. And I was just like, oh, gosh, you know, this is horrible. I'm like, I don't want to hear this. Like, I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. And it was like I got slapped in the back of the head by God. And he said, hey, stupid. This is your purpose in life, is to help these people. This is what you said you wanted to do with life. This is who you say you are. If you can't get over your own crap every day and leave that stuff at home or wherever, don't bring it home. If you can't leave that stuff somewhere else and help these people, then what are you really doing? And so that's kind of one of my main points today is, like, God, you're on this earth for some reason. You're not just here. It's not an accident. We didn't just all appear out of thin air. You know, we're not just wandering around aimlessly, you know, bumping up against the wall, trying to make it through life. You have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody watching this video, listening to this podcast later, watching this on YouTube, everybody has a purpose in life. You may know it, you may not know it. I know what mine is. But you can't get to your purpose. You can't live out your purpose for life if you're walking around with your face hung low and your lip poking out and feel like a miserable bum because you don't want to be around people, because you feel sorry for yourself. And I'm talking to myself. Guys, this is me talking to me. You know, so we have to perk up. We have to realize that, hey, life's going to go on. It's going to get better. Things are going to happen. You're still here. You still have breath. While you still are here, you have to make the best of it. You have to get to number 3. What's that number 3? Where's your fullness? Where's that completeness that God has for you, that you have for yourself? I don't know. You don't know. He knows, but we got to work to get there. And days are going to be hard. Days are not going to be fun. There's going to be days, if you're a PT, you got to see more people than you want to see that day. There's going to be people come in your clinic that you don't want to see that day. There's going to be houses that you go in that you don't want to go into that day, but you got to go and you got to love on those people and you got to be the best for them at that time. And you got to know they may not want you there either. They may not have wanted to come. You know, they may have just lost somebody in their family. They may not have any money to pay their bills. One of my apps just popped up. It says depressed, 2 ways to respond. That's what I'm talking about. You got a couple of ways to respond. You can either be miserable all the time and take everybody down with you. That boat's sinking, everybody's going down. Because don't nobody want to be around somebody moping and crying and griping all the time. Or the boat can be going down and you can be pulling everybody out. Get on the life raft, baby. We going. Get on, jump on. I got you. Give me a hand. Come on. Here's a raft for you. Come on, baby. Here's a paddle. Let's go. You can be that person, or you can be the person sinking the ship. Who do you want to be today?